Welcome to Sticking to the Truth with Julene Jackson and Debbie Jansen. We are two motor mouth mama bears willing to discuss current events with honesty and boldness. We will always stick to the truth. Hi, Julene. So glad to see you today.
Oh, hi, Debbie. Hey, I'm sticking to the truth. What's going on with you?
Well, I'm feeling good today. Our experiment in the last podcast has helped, but I got a few questions for you.
Uh-oh, what's going on?
Well, you just returned from CPAC. Bless your heart. You are everywhere, and I'm loving it. But I want to know, what exactly is that group? Who started it, and what do they do?
CPAC. Have you ever heard of it? I mean, clearly you've heard of it, but I don't think a lot of people know what it is. I'm not so sure if I didn't live in Washington, D.C., I would have exactly dialed in on it. It's known as the Conservative Political Action Conference. And it was established Political Action Conference, all right, Conservative Political Action Conference. And it was founded in 1974. So every year they have had this big, it's actually the largest gathering of political conservatives in the world. And they have this.
Oh my goodness.
It's like a 3-day conference, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It typically has always been in Washington, D.C. So, Deb, it kicked off first year in 1974, and Ronald Reagan wasn't the president there, but he gave the inaugural keynote speech. And so over the course of 3 days, you have businessmen, activists, members of Congress, members of the president's cabinet, the president himself, typically has spoken. Donald Trump has spoken at CPAC since 2018, and sure enough, he did not disappoint. Wow. He spoke again yesterday. But for instance, CPAC this year, it was held at the Gaylord Hotel on the National Harbor, inner harbor in DC. It's on the Maryland side, actually, but it's across the river. The Potomac is right there, the big Ferris wheel. And J.D. Vance kicked off the conference on Thursday morning. Steve Bannon, Elon Musk. We had Ben Shapiro, Megyn Kelly. I got to hear her speak. Carolyn Leavitt, the president's press secretary. All kind of congressmen, some secretary, the secretary of HUD. I heard him. His name, what is his name? Scott Turner. He used to be a former NFL player. I liked him so much. And Tom Homan, the czar of the border, spoke. Governor Sarah Huckabee. Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security. I mean, these are heavy hitters, Deb.
Oh my goodness. Sounds like everybody was there.
It was good. And who runs it now is a couple, Matt Schlapp and Mercy Schlapp. And Matt, my husband worked with Matt like 30 years ago on the Hill. Matt just worked for a congressman, but he's gone on to he's a Fox News contributor, and he and his wife worked in the press secretary office under Bush one, his first term. And they're a great couple, good Catholic family. They have 5 kids, and wow. He is the chairman of the the American Conservative Union. They're the ones that started CPAC, 51 years ago. And anyways, that's just a little bit of background about CPAC. Next year it's going to be in Texas. The following year it'll be in Florida. It's typically in DC, but sometimes they move around the country to give people an opportunity in other parts of the country. Anyone can go to it. I think the tickets are like $295 for 3 days, but if you buy the ticket now, it's like probably $89 if you buy it a year out. So good patriots from all over the country were there. I've met people there. This is like my 3rd year for going. I met people there a few years ago that I'm still friends with, that we're now involved in their organizations and sit on their boards. It's just crazy. It's just a gathering of conservative, like-minded, freedom-loving people.
That's great. Tell me, does the Democratic Party have a group like CPAC?
Yeah, they really don't. They have something called CAP, the Center for American Progress, and that was formed when Trump won in 2016. So they were probably like, oh my God, no. So they formed this Center for American Progress, and they started having idea conferences in 2020. And they had 3 years of them. They had a conference in 2023 where kind of, progressive liberal thinkers and Congress people and so forth came together, but they did not have one last year. So as far as I know, they've only done it 3 years. So no, they
Oh,
don't have anything that kind of compares to a conservative,
well,
conference like CPAC.
yeah, right now I'm not sure they could get a lot of people together.
Well, they're
So
a
maybe
little
that's,
discombobulated right now, but they are going to come back with a vengeance. I have no
oh, I'm
doubts.
sure. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they
Yeah.
will. Well, thank you for telling us about your experiences. But when you go there, what do you want to walk away with?
Well, to be honest with you, Deb, it's been said that if you want to create a new way of life, you need to gather in small groups, like cottage meeting type settings, 4, 5, 6 people in communities gathering together to learn, to study, and then to go out in your communities, in your neighborhoods, in your churches, right? That's where change
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
really takes place. So, you go to these big events a couple times a year with like 10,000 people in attendance. I'm not saying it moves the needle so much in my life, but it does kind of give you a good surge of, oh wow, there's a lot of like-minded people like me. It's not like
yeah, yeah,
I I I learned things that are going to change my life. It's kind of entertainment in a way because it's not like people are really giving you solutions, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah,
solutions come when you do self-study at home or when you self-study in groups. And even, we teach classes online when you come together and you have a workbook in front of you and you're taught and you can raise your hand, you can participate. I really do think there's magic meeting in a home,
yeah,
having a
yeah.
heart to
I
heart,
agree.
person to person,
I
experience.
agree. And
But
yet it seems like it would probably put a fire under you to go to something like that, and that you could
sure.
meet people that you were
Yeah.
like-minded with, that then you could be friends with. So
Yes.
I can see what you just said. I'm with you. I think that's the way you grow all the time, is reading a book and getting to know somebody, having them over, doing some study. I think that's the best way for you to grow. And yet I would think that it would be really exciting and fun. I was able to listen to almost 30 minutes of Trump's speech at CPAC, and I enjoyed it. He did
Yeah.
a rundown of all his accomplishments in the last month, and which was a lot to take in. Some of it I didn't know because he was doing so much every day. But the best part of his speech is that I am cemented in the fact now that I think Donald Trump has a sense of humor. I've decided that he's like a couple of guys I've known that just look at things upside down and backwards, that you're standing somewhere with them and you're talking about something important, and then these guys say something so ludicrous and you kind of, what? And it takes them a minute to relate to you that really what they said was quite smart. You just didn't catch it at first. And I think with Donald Trump, some people don't know what to do with that. I don't think President Trump is necessarily trying to be mean. He just organizes brain information in a different way than we're used to. And it may come out mean to some, but I don't think he means it that way. It's kind of like I've seen kids on the street pick at each other. They punch each other and say stuff like your mama can't cook and your girlfriend's ugly, and then everyone laughs and they go on about their way and they don't hate each other. They just see the world in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think about all the people that he nicknamed in his first election. And now they're good friends and they're working in his administration. Maybe when they had a chance to talk to him, they found out that he really didn't feel like what the nickname was portraying.
Yeah.
I, I am a little concerned that it seems Democrats don't know how to tell a joke or even laugh. They take everything so seriously, and I never see them laughing at anything. That's why I wanted to know if they had one of these kind of meetings. Would they do talks and laugh? And I just think that it's kind of a sad way to live when you can't laugh. I did see that J.D. Vance told the CPAC crowd that it was time for men to feel okay about having a beer with a friend and just laughing at the world. Now, I don't want the beer, but I do miss laughing. Don't you?
Yeah.
We need more laughter in this world.
You'll pass on the beer, but you like a little bit more.
Yeah.
Joviality. What's the word there? Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, Trump reminds me of just like he's a very, like straight talking businessman. All right. He doesn't sound like a politician. And I think that's what threw people off the first time he ran and was president. They actually thought he was dumb or inarticulate because he didn't speak like, people up on Capitol Hill. And he does. He's straightforward. He gets to the point. He calls it the way he sees it. I mean, remember Senator Rubio from Florida?
Yeah.
When he was running, and he called him Little Marco, and he was so condescending. And now Marco is the Secretary of State,
Yeah,
so,
really.
Trump wants to win, right? And so when he's in the heat of the battle, he's going to do whatever it takes to make sure he comes out ahead. But I think his heart is good. And I think, people realize that once they can kind of look through some of that smack and, masculine, I'm the tough kid on the street kind of talk, that they can see, oh, wow, he is an intelligent man. I mean, look. Is he a billionaire? Any billionaire is not an idiot. That's just the same way they call Elon Musk, an idiot. I'm like, wow, he's a billionaire. I mean, do we even dare doubt their intelligence? They have figured something out, right? But, Trump is seriously funny. I mean, I think we, like I said, thought he was a bozo, right? Before in his first term. I didn't think that, but that's definitely how the media portrayed him.
Yeah.
But then we heard 4 years of kind of a bumbling, stammering Biden, right? He'd lose his train of thought. He'd lose his sense of direction. And so Trump comes back, and we all think he's sharp as a tack. When I was at the White House a few weeks ago for that executive order removing men from sports, me and my daughter, he just went around the room. The room was packed, and he told little story after little story about senators and congressmen that were there. Now, Deb, about about 14 months ago, me and my husband were at Mar-a-Lago for the annual Moms for America, Mother of Influence program and fundraiser that we have at Mar-a-Lago. And Donald Trump was there, and he wanted to meet some of the board members for Moms for America. My husband sits on the executive board. So we had like a little private meeting. Seriously, I feel like it was 5 minutes. Maybe it was 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, but he just wanted to talk. And I told him, what I do for Moms for America and why the moms, some of the things that concern them and why they appreciate him. Then he wanted to talk to my husband. Now, Al is kind of a strong, tall, imposing man. And, Trump likes those masculine kind of dudes. So they kind of hit it off. So they had a cute conversation. And then when we went back into the big ballroom, and then just like a few minutes later came Trump to speak to, 300-400 people that were there. And Trump goes up on the stage. And the first thing he says, my husband's name is Al Jackson. He said, "Where is Al Jackson? I just met Al Jackson. He sits on the board. Where are you, Al? Al, where are you?" And then me and Al are like, is he serious? He's like, "Al, I want you to come on up to the stage. Come on, Al. Come on." And then he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, Al. You're better looking than me. You're going to make me look bad. Nope, stay back. Stay down there." And we were just like, wow. And the crowd is laughing. And I'm like, he's a funny dude. So I just, I think he's confident, he's self-assured, and he's just kind of letting his true colors shine, because he doesn't quite frankly care what people think. I mean, he's taking names and kicking behinds and having a little fun at it at the same time.
Well, like I said, I think this is great. We need more laughter in this world, and I think it's great.
Yeah, yeah. We'll
Well,
never forget that.
I've been thinking about our forefathers a lot lately. Now, they put so much thought into the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And thank you, Julene, for teaching me and Ron about that. Julene has classes with Moms for America, and right now we're doing the healing of America, and we're finding out a lot of really important information about our forefathers. So I'm thinking, did they feel like the government was going to get as big as it has? Because I would think they wanted a small government presence.
Yeah. No, I think they would roll over in their graves if they saw how big and bloated and how many programs and the things that were involved in. I mean, they made it very clear in the Constitution, Amendments 9 and 10 of the Bill of Rights, not one, but two of our first 10 amendments talked about how they wanted a limited and small government with carefully defined powers for the federal government. And everything else was supposed to go back to the states and to the people respectively to figure it out, because they knew that strong local government was the keystone to freedom, because people that are closest to the problems know how to solve the problems best. So Washington, D.C. doesn't, 3,000 miles away, doesn't need to tell you how to educate your children. It should be your own local school board and superintendent that best knows how, to educate the children, or the state to take care of their poor and needy, and that kind of thing. And so, no, they did not intend it to look like it does now. And so I think that's why they would probably really like what the Doge, is trying to do. That Doge.
Well, see, that's kind of where I was going with this, because always the news has some lies in it. But it's showing that people are still promoting protest and saying that Trump wants to be king and Musk is horrible because he's trying to streamline the government. I loved it with what I saw at CPAC when he came out with the chainsaw. And so that kind of got me to wondering about our forefathers too. Sometimes when I listen to the news, it feels like Washington is just a big political sandbox where toddlers go to fuss, steal toys, and make a big mess. And I think our forefathers would be disappointed in that. Does it feel that way to you?
Well, look, I live in Washington, D.C. I live like 20 minutes from the White House. I live a half a mile from the D.C. Maryland line. So for all intents and purposes, I say I live in D.C. But I have seen it when the Democrats are not in power. They are particularly in a foul mood because, look, 92% of the population that lives around me voted for Donald Trump. So when one of their guys are not in office, they're in a bad mood, and so and President Trump right now is so confident and he's unapologetic and he's putting, people, his cabinet is full of patriots. And, Donald Trump, he, he's a little eccentric. I'll give it to you. At CPAC, he came out in a MAGA hat, gold chain, sunglasses, and he was welding this, golden chainsaw. And it actually was a gift that the president of Argentina, who was at CPAC, gave to him. So he brought it out on stage. So it did have a chain, but it's not like, I don't think it's gold plated, But, the chainsaw didn't leave a lot of room for or nuance. I mean, clearly we're going through a period of radical reform. So, Democrats are not in a good mood, and particularly because so many of them have been kept fat and happy on the government payroll, and now their jobs are on the line, and so some of it is they're probably worried sick too. I actually got to go out and get a job that requires me to go into the office 5 days a week, something like that.
Yeah, well, I've heard a few of them try to talk about why their job is so important. And yet, even while they're talking about that, I'm going, I'm not sure that's what the government's supposed to be doing. And I don't want to believe that we've deteriorated so much that when people become a political leader, they automatically start lying and stealing. And yet, man, with the government this bloated and this big, how can you avoid that?
Yeah. I know. I mean, I think there's no easy way to reduce, programs and to reduce the workforce. I mean, it's going to hurt,
Yeah.
and but it's not sustainable, right?
No, it's not.
And so we're having to, like, when you prune a bush, you almost have to like cut it back. What are those bushes? You have to cut back almost to the nub, and it looks like you're going to kill it, but that's how it continues to grow and it comes back stronger and better.
Stronger.
And
yeah.
Yeah, it's like that bush. It's painful to prune, no doubt, but that's how the bush comes back stronger the next season, the next year, the year after that. And that's what we're experiencing right now.
I totally agree. Maybe that's why the American people are fine with so many of Trump's picks. They want strong people who can stand up to a liar and demand the truth. Now, I didn't know much about Kash Patel, but when I heard he was a whistleblower, that kind of changed things for me. The way he answered Congress and how strong he is about finding the truth, that makes me think he's going to make changes that will help our country. So I looked up some stuff, and I won't take this very long, but the FBI was founded in 1908, and it struck fear in criminal hearts. I think J. Edgar Hoover was the first director, right? And under him, they developed a lot of criminal investigation tools. They consolidated fingerprint record systems, established the laboratory division, recruited agents on merit, improved law enforcement training, and expanded forensic analysis. And today, if someone says the FBI is on your tail, you better run faster. At least that's what citizens think. But if it becomes a political machine, it's going to need someone like Patel to clean it up. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he is. I like this guy. The more I kind of see him in action, once again, he's fearless and he's not beholden to the deep state. And he's a courageous man. He's gone up against the machine, so to speak, and he's cleaning house. There's about 7,000 FBI agents working at 6th and Pennsylvania Avenue, right in Washington, D.C. And he said, I'm putting those agents back out in the field. They have been trained to be police officers. I want them back in the field catching criminals. I'm going to put them in the field offices around the country. And I think it's been easy for those agents to become a part of the deep state or to be controlled by the bureaucracy at some level when they just have stayed hunkered down on Pennsylvania Avenue, instead of out there doing what they were hired to do,
Yeah.
And so he's going to shake it up.
Well, I think that's great. And I cannot believe, did you say 7,000 are in Washington?
Mm-hmm.
There's only 81,000 of them total. No, it's not 81. I'm sorry. It's 37,000 total, and 7,000 are in Washington. But
nuts. Deb, out of the 37,000, there's only about 14,000 special FBI agents. So half of the agents right now are in Washington, D.C. Can you see the problem there? There's 14,000 FBI agents, and half of them are in it's like this cave of the building. It's not a very attractive building. I used to work next to it, and half of them are holed up there.
That makes me laugh. Maybe they're there because that's where the criminals are.
Well, or maybe they're holding the hands of the criminals. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he knows something is fundamentally wrong when the people that are supposed to catch the bad guys are all concentrated in one area.
Yeah.
He's got to get them out and spread them out and have them do the job that they have been trained to do. And if they don't want to do that, they'll pack your bags. He's gonna, send them on their way.
Yeah. Well, I'm laughing because today has been technologically crazy for us guys. So hang in here with us. I was wondering exactly what they do, and I looked it up, and basically they are there just to help the states. They are in charge of investigations, surveillance, arrests, testifying in court, gathering evidence. So they're like a federal police group, right?
Yep.
That just helps the states. So I'm not sure. I think it feels like to me we've put them on a plane that maybe they shouldn't be there. What do you think, Julie?
Yeah. Well, I once again, it just doesn't make sense that half of the agents in our country are, in one location. We need to distribute them all around because the bad guys are everywhere. I know there's a lot of bad guys in DC, but to have half of our federal police officers in one location, I mean, I just really like him. He was sworn in on Friday in the White House. And it's interesting. He's 44 years old, so he's going to be the 9th director of the FBI since its inception. And usually FBI directors serve about 10 years, So we'll see, because they're supposed to keep serving even when a new president, comes into office. But Pam Bondi swore him in, our new attorney general. And he's not married, interesting enough. So he had some family members there. And then he had his girlfriend. So hopefully he needs to just go ahead and marry her because, marriage has a stabilizing influence on the man. And he's going to need to be as stable as possible to lead, the Federal Bureau of Investigations. But I think he said, if anyone thinks the American dream is dead, he said, I just want you to look at me. I'm the first generation Indian kid. And I am now leading, the FBI. And he was a lawyer. He was a federal prosecutor. He worked for the National Security Council. He was the chief of staff for the Secretary of Defense, acting Secretary of Defense. He was a senior advisor to the Director of National Intelligence. I mean, the guy has been around, right? And he has some really unique and interesting experience that has qualified him. And he's a tough guy. He's an honest guy. He's an integritous guy. He's a patriot. I'm kind of excited to see what he's going to do.
Well, me too. And I tell you, I am excited too because here on Sticking to the Truth and on Moms for America, Julene and I want our kids to be smarter because what's happening right now, and hopefully will continue to happen for 4 years and maybe another 8 years, is that Trump and the Republican Party are ready and working hard to clean up the government and move forward. But here's the problem. If we don't get busy teaching ourselves and our children how the government works, we will be in this mess again in 8 years. So because of that, Julene and I are concerned about the future. And in all our spare time, Julene and I are quite busy, but in all our spare time, we're going to do some very short podcasts called Just the Facts. They will only be about 5 minutes long, and they'll highlight some fact that you need to know about our government or our life here in America. So subscribe to this program, and you'll be alerted when we post a new episode. These little tiny episodes will only be about 5 minutes long or less, maybe. So you can listen on the way to the store, even while you make a sandwich. But maybe you'll learn something, and maybe you can teach others around you to stick to the truth, and especially teach your children. So stay tuned. Just the Facts will be posted soon. Julene, what is your tip for today?
Well, I love this idea of, look, we've got to become educated. We've got to understand, we can't defend the Constitution. We can't defend our history or principles of liberty if we don't know what they are. And, Deb, you and I, we are studiers of history and these things.
Yes, we are. Yes.
We, just another shout out, momsforamerica.us. You can sign up for the free classes. The Healing of America seminar just started. You can join today. It's free every Tuesdays, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. And I read someplace the other day that the original handheld device was a book. we got to get back to the original handheld devices. We've
I
got to like
love that.
read books and read, original books that haven't been revised and tinkered with. Maybe read what our founders were reading. That's why they could come to, a common understanding and agreement on certain things, because they were reading out of the same books. They're reading the Bible, first of all, and they're reading ancient thinkers and philosophers, Cicero, John Locke, Montesquieu, these kind of things. Read the classics that have enduring values and principles, and these, not things that aren't rooted in truth. And so I just think we need to get back to our original handheld devices. We need to be reading books. We need to be reading magazines and newspapers and things that, not like just the scrolling, the doom scrolling that is, in one ear and out the other, but books that you can sink your teeth into and have your highlighters and underline and go back and look at it again. And, that's the only way that we're going to be able to perpetuate what our founding fathers gave us, is if we put in the work to know for ourselves what they knew, and
Exactly.
And so come to our classes. We give all the handbooks. We have the materials that are just a nominal price, and they will become your little treasures. That's what you will teach your children from. You don't really learn something until you have to give it away. So as you learn, reteach to your children and grandchildren, and then you'll start to really connect the dots. And anyways, I think that's my tip for the day, Deb.
I love it because that is the way to have a beautiful life. When you know what you're talking about, when you've taught it to your kids, when you are intelligent enough, you know what's going on, you know how to deal with it, your life is going to be better. But my tip for today is a little bit crazier. My tip today is to laugh, and laugh as hard as you can. We've got some tough times, but you know what? Laughter helps you. The Bible says a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. And you know the kind I'm talking about, the really hard belly laughs. It will lower your blood pressure. It will help you feel hopeful, and it'll reduce the lines in your forehead. So, Julene, today let's practice. What do you call George Washington's false teeth?
Wooden?
No, you call them presidentures.
Of course.
I have a book of these kind of silly things, and me and my grandgirls, when I see them, they're pulling out things that they're finding, and so am I. So just one more.
Precious.
How did Benjamin Franklin feel when he discovered electricity?
Very proud of himself.
He was shocked.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Cute. I love it.
This one is just for all the kids out there. Jimmy brought his report card to his dad. Dad, I'm just like Washington, Jefferson, and Lincoln. Wow, son, that's great. Why are you like them? And the little boy kind of frowned. I went down in history this time.
Adorable.
Oh,
the world needs more like bad dad jokes. Bad grandma jokes.
You're saying these are bad jokes, huh?
No, they're great. I love them.
No, I agree with you. They're terrible. But at least you can laugh at them. So to all of our listeners, thank you for being with us today. Subscribe to this podcast and join us again. You can ask a question or request that we dig into a specific topic by writing me, Debbie, at debbiejansen.com. And again, thanks to our wonderful producer, Ken Jensen. He takes all of these technical mistakes that these two mama bears come up with, and he makes it all okay. So thank you, Ken. This is Debbie Jansen, and I'm sticking to the truth.
And I'm Julene Jackson, and we hope that you will keep sticking to the truth. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.